I want to share with you an essay from a wonderful book by Thomas Sowell called Compassion versus Guilt. And it's a short essay called Work and Output. When I travel through California's vast agricultural areas, the people I see working in the fields under the hot sun are usually Mexicans. So are many of the people who clean the hotels. But when I have been approached by a panhandler in San Francisco or Los Angeles, it has never been a Mexican. Almost invariably, the panhandlers have been young, healthy-looking whites with middle-class accents. These men remind me of the old English expression, sturdy beggars. One nicely dressed young woman with a well-modulated voice looked so different from the image of a panhandler that I was already past her before I realized that that was what she was. But I have seen her again. She works one of the better business districts of San Francisco. All I can do is walk past such people. To give them money would be to say that they are somehow better than the Mexicans who have to earn their living by helping to feed the rest of society and by keeping hotels and offices clean. How these young middle-class people get the nerve to ask a black man whose mother was a maid for money is beyond me. What is truly disheartening is what all this means for the future of this country. Listen to this. The whole connection between work and the output we'll live on is being lost in many people's minds. To many, the country just somehow has wealth, which we should all share, and fairly, quote-unquote. The most basic fairness of contributing to the efforts that produced what you want to share escapes them completely. If this confusion were confined to a few parasites, it would be a minor problem. But it has become the hallmark of our deep thinkers on university campuses and in editorial offices. If you want the connection between work and output to disappear, just say the magic word, compassion. That works fine on the printed page, which is the ultimate reality for many of the deep thinkers. Meanwhile, back in the real world, the connection between efforts and results remains exactly what it has always been for society as a whole. What magic words like compassion mean is that some must work even harder so that others don't have to work at all. Factory workers will have to put in more time on the job in order that more welfare mothers can sit home and watch soap operas. The food that is so nobly handed out in soup kitchens or so efficiently administered as food stamps was all grown by somebody toiling somewhere. Why should farmers and agricultural laborers be working under hot sun out in California's valleys so that others can lounge around in the streets of San Francisco or Berkeley and do their own thing? Quote unquote. At one time, people who didn't work were called bums. Today, they have been sanctified as, quote unquote, the homeless. No doubt there are some tragic cases among those on the street, and no doubt the media will always find them. But meanwhile, we're raising a whole generation to believe in fairy godmothers, and to vote for them. A significant part of those who are out on the street today are there because of the past theories of our deep thinkers, for whom theories come and go like teenage fads. A portion of the homeless are mentally ill. Some wander the streets oblivious to traffic or become prey to the uglier elements of street life. Instead of getting the medication and protection they need in a mental hospital, they are put out in the street because in the community, quote unquote, became a fad phrase among those who talk about policy, write laws, and strike moral poses. How long will we continue to let glib talkers lead us around by the nose and use us as guinea pigs for their latest theories? Written in September of 1984. What a great man, Thomas Sowell.